Welcome back. So as we've been walking through this series, diving into resources from FaithFlow Rooted Ministry, specifically looking at their books, Living the Call and Serving with Strength, our mission today is to investigate a very specific, kind of a quiet tension.
Yeah, that quiet exhaustion.
Exactly. You probably know the feeling. You're doing all the right things, showing up for your family, your ministry, your job.
Right.
But beneath the surface, your peace is just thinning out. The joy of serving has somehow turned into, well, sheer grit.
Oh, absolutely.
And we aren't here to offer a quick fix today. We really just want to analyze why these sources suggest this hidden weight is so universally common.
It is an incredibly common phenomenon. I mean, the authors point out that people who care deeply often carry this weight silently.
Yeah, they really do.
There's this unspoken assumption that as a capable leader or a believer, you are supposed to just be able to handle it all. But the texts argue that this exhaustion isn't actually a lack of faith. It's a fundamental disconnect in how that faith is applied.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to me, reading through these notes, it feels a bit like trying to carry a massive, awkward couch up a flight of stairs using muscles God never actually intended you to use.
Yes, that is exactly it.
You're sweating, you're putting in the effort, but the mechanics are completely wrong.
That is a perfect analogy. And, building on that, the material suggests that when you treat faith purely as a belief system like just a set of doctrines in your head, you're basically trying to lift that heavy couch using only your back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you aren't engaging your core at all.
Right. When faith remains a theory, you're left to manage incredibly complex, heavy life decisions entirely on your own willpower.
Which naturally brings you out. I mean, you're doing the right things, but purely on your own steam.
Exactly.
So if the problem is relying on willpower instead of a grounded presence, how do these texts suggest we rewrite that habit?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources bring up an interesting biblical pattern. Think about Mary and Martha.
Oh, right, where Martha's running around trying to host everyone.
Right. The human instinct, when you're pressed hard or carrying responsibility, is to rush to formulate a plan, to regain control, to just do something.
Yeah, to prove you're handling it.
Exactly. But the text highlights that while Martha was frantic, Mary anchored in stillness first. It's about letting a broader, grounded strategy replace sheer panic.
Oh, I hear that. But let's be real for a second. Stillness sounds great on paper, but practically, my inbox is still overflowing.
Of course it is.
When your team or your family needs an answer right now, how do you actually stay still? Does the source material give a specific triage method for this, or is it just telling us to, try to be calm?
It's a very fair pushback. The authors clarify that faith isn't frantic, it's firm.
Firm, okay.
Yeah, they don't define stillness as doing nothing or ignoring your inbox. Instead, they frame it as an ongoing spiritual formation rather than a daily performance metric.
So it's not a quota you have to hit.
Right. It's about anchoring your heart before you act. By engaging your reliance on God, you stop letting the adrenaline of the crisis dictate your response.
So what does this all mean practically? I guess instead of trying to generate more faith, you're aligning your daily actions with your actual design.
Yes, that's the vital shift. Your exhaustion isn't a lack of faith. Connection and understanding matter so much here. It's about shifting from striving to resting in how God uniquely shaped you.
And that is exactly where FaithFlow Rooted Ministry naturally fits into the journey. It really brings clarity to how you were specifically designed to serve.
Right. And what's fascinating here is how practical that clarity becomes. Take a leader who is paralyzed by decision fatigue.
We've all been there.
Oh, absolutely. But by leaning into practical tools like the frameworks in the Living the Call book, they literally audit their responsibilities against their core strength.
They learn to balance obedience with opportunity.
Exactly. It shifts them from frantic striving to resting in how they were made.
And reading through Serving with Strength, it takes that same concept, but applies it to the energy we expend.
Yeah, it completely reframes the picture.
Right, by having you audit where your energy goes, teaching you to serve from a place of fullness rather than a deficit. It takes that internal disconnect and turns it into steady clarity.
That really is the core takeaway from these materials. Faithfulness isn't about speed or being everything for everyone.
Yeah.
It is about steadfastness. Slow, steady growth is completely normal, and these tools are designed to provide clarity without adding more pressure to your plate.
It really is an ongoing journey, and as we continue to analyze these rhythms from FaithFlow Rooted Ministry in this deep dive, it's just refreshing to see resources that don't just add to the to-do list, but actually help you carry it correctly.
Absolutely.
But before we go, I want to leave you with one final counterintuitive thought from our reading today to mull over. What if your current exhaustion isn't a warning sign that you're failing, but a divine invitation to finally drop the weight you were never meant to carry?